DeAndre Hopkins is on the move. Where's he going to go? Next on Pack the Bank. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to what is attempted to be the best sports podcast here on YouTube, Pack the Bank. As always, my name is Cody. I am here with my wonderful friends and co-hosts, Aaron and CK in the building. Aaron, what do we have on tap for today's episode?
So we're just going to run through some NFL news. Got some 2 to 3 different discussion points that we're going to hit on, and then we're going to do the defensive draft, the one that we did last week with the offensive players. Just this week we're going to do defensive, and we'll have CK explain the rules when we get to that. We'll do that to finish up the night. So. Yep. So let's jump into the stuff around the league. Didn't play.
I think we pressed it at the same time.
Okay. All right. So real quick, with Jimmy G. Oh God, this man right here. He gets told he can have as much you-know-what at a brothel whenever he wants in Vegas, but then can't stay healthy enough to even know if he's going to be on the team this season. That's sad. So, basically, he's had the foot... Is it the foot injury? Ankle injury?
Yeah, it's the ankle.
Okay, yeah. So, he got signed, and they run him through a... what do you call it? Like a
physical
protocol. Physical, yeah. His physical, and he failed it, so they pushed back his press conference. And everybody was like, this is what. Well, apparently after he failed his physical, they reworked his contract to where if he injures his ankle, or it's not fully healed, or something like that. I'm pretty sure that if he injures his ankle, he can be released by the Raiders and not have to pay and they will not have to pay him a single penny. But if he injures any other part of his body during the season, they still have to pay him as an injured reserve player, I'm guessing. If I'm getting that correct.
I think they can also just, if he doesn't pass his next physical, I also think they can just cut him off and be done. But
yeah,
I'm sure that'd be smart. So this also explains why they were attempting to trade up to number 1 when they signed Jimmy, or after they signed Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy G failed his physical, and his contract was dramatically reworked because of it. Jimmy G's signing bonus was pushed to a base salary. If the foot issue lingers, the Raiders could release him with no penalty.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. Like, if they knew about this in what, March is when they actually figured out after his physical, why is it just now coming out as news? Why is the entirety of the NFL just now finding out about this? Is it because they didn't want everybody to know that leading up to the draft? Because if so,
yeah,
that makes sense.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if so, that makes sense. But the whole thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, we're wondering if he's going to be healthy, if he's going to be a good starting quarterback, and then this comes out. It's like, this guy can't catch a break. He
True.
is so he's one of the better quarterbacks on the field when he's healthy. I'll say that. I've never had a problem with Jimmy. I thought that he was always a pretty decent quarterback. I'm not going to call him top 10, but he's certainly top 15. And I don't know. I just feel like he can't catch a break. And honestly, it's going to be kind of sad if he doesn't end up being the quarterback, because I know that Raiders offense especially just got a lot better. With Michael Mayer being there, and then obviously you got Devontae and Josh Jacobs and Hunter Renfrow, and I don't know, man.
Well, the way it keeps sounding, one of them wide receivers may not be a Raider for much longer. But we don't know much about that anyway. So he's very disgruntled with the front office because of the Jimmy G signing. I think that. Well, I know I'm about 90% sure that Adams signed with Las Vegas because he wanted to play with Derek Carr. And as soon as he gets there, Derek Carr gets released. And it's like, I didn't get to play with him before a season. So I think it kind of ticked Adams off, as honestly, I kind of agree with Adams. It's like, this is why I signed here. And then as soon as I sign here, you kick him to the curb and you bring in an injury-prone QB. I'd be kind of ticked off too, to be honest with you.
I'd be pissed.
Well, I think he's just mad also that he's not wearing green and gold. I would be too.
I doubt it. But yeah, if you want to believe that.
All right,
But be careful, he'll be wearing green and white.
Hey man,
Not really. He won't be going there.
not my
He's not
monkey,
going
not
there.
my show. If that's where he
Yeah,
wants to
he's not
go,
going
that's
there.
where he wants to go.
God, they don't need another receiver. Their wide receiver core is insanely deep, so they're fine wide receiver wise. I don't know who he'd throw the ball to if they had Adams, Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall, Alan Lazard, Randall Cobb. It's like, okay, just
I don't
what are we
know.
doing?
I'm sure he would throw the ball to enough people to be a first exit playoff. So.
Ow. Yeah, sucks for
Can't
you.
be a first exit when you're gonna be a first seed. You got to be a second exit.
I doubt he's going to be first.
I bet they win the East.
Yeah, next slide.
All right, so D-Hop, man, you know, we're hearing about, as you see, I got the edit here of him in the Chiefs uniform. It's what it's sounding like is it's going to be a Chiefs and Bills war for him. Understandable for both sides, because why not? He's still got he's probably got still the best hands in the league. If not, he's definitely top 3 of best hands in the league still. He's 31, but the issue is the contract is the issue. This man is expensive. I mean, he's wanting that OBJ deal, which, in my opinion, OBJ didn't deserve. But you know, whatever. But I mean, OBJ didn't play a whole season after coming off the ACL tear, and then he comes out and gets like a $15 million deal.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's not. I mean, me personally, I don't think he's worth $15 million. I know he's a game changer and all that, but I think the Ravens paid it because it was like, all we have is Zay Flowers, and this is before they had Zay Flowers, so it's like, who's he gonna throw the ball to?
They have God, what
We
is
have Mark
his-
Andrews,
No, but they've got another receiver.
Marquise Brown.
No.
Rashid Bateman.
Rashid
Rasheed,
Bateman?
yeah.
Brown's
he's
on the
Bateman's not
Cardinals.
bad.
That's right. He got traded from the
Yep.
Yeah.
Ravens.
That was the
to-
funny part. There, everybody was like, "Oh, look, he's finally got like Marquise Brown at least," and they traded him. He had no receivers, and I was like, "Oh, look at that."
No, Rashad Bateman should be good. He just got injured his rookie year, I think, but he'll
And
be
the year
back.
after that.
Well,
Yeah,
if,
and
they
the
can
year
keep,
after
if they can keep everybody healthy, Baltimore will be all right. But that's the issue: is Baltimore can't keep nobody healthy.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I know that you said like Chiefs Bills, but I said it the other day. I wouldn't be surprised if D Hop ends up going to somewhere like the Chargers, or
You know where my number one destination for him is. As much as I hate saying it, and I don't know the
Green Bay.
situation. No. If I was him, I would, and I don't think he will. I would really look at Dallas. You don't have to take the role of wide receiver 1. You've got CeeDee Lamb there, so you can take that wide receiver 2 position, because I don't even know who is their wide receiver 2. Who's
It would be
Right now, is it T.Y.
Um,
Hilton?
no, it's
no,
You have Gallup and
God.
you have Brandon Cooks.
Gallup, yeah. Okay, so you
Yeah.
got Brandon Cook, but he can come on. Like
I can beat them out. Yeah.
I'm taking wide receiver 2 D-Hop, but still, yeah, I agree with you. But I think that's a good fit. I think another good fit, but they can't do it. And as much as I really hate saying this one, I think New Orleans would have been a great fit, but they can't do it. They don't have the money. Thank God.
Yeah.
So I think Cleveland is somebody you could watch. I really do. I think Cleveland's a team you should watch about it. I mean, go
I
back
agree.
play with the guy that you played with in Houston, and when y'all was playing together, y'all was tearing the league up. Y'all was the top 3 wide receiver QB team. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Oh yeah.
or pairing. So,
Yeah, it makes sense.
and I know what everybody's freaking out about him being in Houston. I think he lives in Houston, so I wouldn't freak out about that. I'm about positive he probably lives in Houston. A lot of these guys, when they go to a team, they get drafted. it's like CMC says. You know, he thought he was going to be a Panther forever, so he bought a house in Carolina, blah, blah. I'm sure he thought he was going to be a Texan forever, and he bought a house in Houston. Could he have moved to Arizona? Sure. But I'm sure he may have rented out or owned a house down there, but I don't think it was, you know, I think his permanent residence is Houston, because I think that's where his mom's probably living also, more than likely.
Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
So him driving downtown
from Texas?
Yeah, and that, yeah. No. He's from South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he went to Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now, and another team that, I mean, you know, of course I'm biased, but I'd love to see him in Carolina, but it's not going to happen. Nor do, honestly, do I want it to happen. I don't want to pay him the amount of money he wants. It's not.
Well, we
worth
don't know
it.
how much he wants just yet, but I mean, I understand what you're saying with the OBJ.
I wouldn't want to pay
market
him what they are saying that he could get. I don't want to give him the $20+ million. Me personally, I wouldn't want to. It's a lot.
do it.
I mean,
I'll do an heartbeat.
for 2 or 3 years of an aging D-Hop.
Yes.
But then who out of our wide receiver core is probably losing their job?
Laviska Shenault.
I don't know that.
I would almost say Adam Thielen would probably be losing a job.
He ain't losing a job.
Thielen had too much money.
You have DeAndre Hopkins.
You
as
know
wide
who I
receiver
would
one.
think? I think you would argue Chark could lose his job.
No,
He only got a
you just
1 year,
cut
$5
Shenault.
million. Yeah, but I think Chenault's not as injury prone as DJ Chark is. Well, I say injury prone, but just he hasn't come off the injuries like Chark has. That's why Chark only got a $5 million deal.
Yeah, but are you going to cut a guy that you just signed this offseason?
Teams do it all the time.
All right, what's next?
So another reason why I said earlier that Adams probably wouldn't go to the Jets is because they're not taking DeAndre Hopkins either. Robert Saleh was asked the other day about the interest in DeAndre Hopkins, and he said, "No, we love our current group." So, you know, I the Jets are pretty much done probably as it comes to wide receivers. So that's all
This is actually also, sorry I was gone for a second. My work was calling. But this is actually a good point, and this is one that I wanted to bring up. This is why I don't think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to get OBJ money. There's a lot of teams right now, including the Packers, and I'm sure the Panthers as well, that are very happy with their wide receiver course. There's very few and far between teams that are really like needing a DeAndre Hopkins. The reason I say Chargers is because that's one of the teams that are very wide receiver needy, because all they have outside of Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston is a really old Keenan Allen. It's a really old Keenan Allen. But Keenan Allen is also being talked about as being cut. So it makes sense.
If they cut Keenan Allen, that's somebody I wouldn't mind Carolina going after. I know he's older, and I know he's kind of got health issues. But
y'all do not need more receivers. Stop
We
it.
definitely do.
You guys have like 9 receivers.
And only one of them is proven anything.
Wait for the season. I don't know.
Again, I believe in him. But
Yeah,
like,
I think
taking a lot of bets.
Yeah, because you're betting that Mingo is and Bryce Young are gonna connect so well that it's insane.
Yeah.
And we'll have more of a discussion. We're actually gonna start doing a thing where we'll drop the Pack the Bank podcast, like NFL news discussions and other stuff on. We'll do an episode of that, and then we'll cut up Packers Corner. Cody will do Packers Corner. He'll drop one episode of one of those a week, and me and CK will drop an episode of Panthers Corner once a week. So we'll start doing that to where it's, so if you watch whatever you want to watch. So you got 3 different things to watch. If you want to watch just Packers, just Panthers, we're going to watch all 3, more to you. I mean, I'd hope you want to watch all 3, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll deep dive more into that on Panthers Corner when it comes to our receiver room. But
yeah,
I mean, there's about 4 receivers that I'd say that if you signed D-Hop, I'd be okay with letting go. And that's Shi Smith, that's DJ Chark, that's Laviska, and
What Bird, probably?
I forgot we
But even-
signed Bird.
But even
Yeah.
Bird could be your return guy.
Yeah, I mean Bird's returned it, but so is Shy Smith.
Shy Smith.
That's all I've got for this, and then I've got one more slide, which let me pull my notes out for it.
Look at that goofy smile.
So
Fuck.
Aaron Rodgers tried to get Brian Gutekunst, stays it?
Gutekunst, yeah.
Gutekunst.
Gutekunst.
Okay, Brian G, the Green Bay Packers GM, fired 2 years ago. Rodgers' agent David Dunn called Packers president Mark Murphy in early 2021 offseason with a request to either fire the GM or trade then NFL MVP. Somebody asked Rodgers about the situation, but the QB said talk to the agent, who didn't respond. Of course. The Packers refused the QB request. After the first round of the 2021 draft, they said they're not trading Rodgers. Hours before the start of the 2021 draft, Rodgers was so disgruntled with the Packers organization he did not want to return to the team. Let's see. I'm just running by some other things real quick to see if there's anything insane.
Once you're
According-
done, I take the floor.
Yep. According to Schefter, Gutekunst. I keep saying Gutekunst. Murphy. That's what it looks like it's pronounced.
Yeah,
This was
fine.
funny. Murphy and head coach LaFleur took separate trips to meet with Rodgers at various points in the offseason. Upon arriving at training camp 3 months after Schefter's report, Rodgers met with the media to speak publicly about the situation. This wasn't a day-to-day thing, the 10-time Pro Bowler stated. It started with a conversation in February after the season ended. I expressed my desire to be more involved in conversations directly affecting my job. Understandable. Rodgers told somebody about communication between himself and Brian G. did somewhat improve after training camp press conference, but it still wasn't anywhere near what I've already enjoyed here with the Jets in the last just a few short weeks. Right here, the Packers did trade Adams to the Raiders after re-signing Rodgers. Schneidman, I guess that's the guy that did the interview or whatever, or asked the questions, noted that the team will eventually willing to obligate Adams' desire to be the highest paid receiver, but Rodgers believes that the way negotiations were handled helped drive Adams away. They offered him less money than Christian Kirk, $18 million per year, and Adams is going, "Are you serious right now? I'm the best receiver in the league, and you're gonna offer me less than Christian Kirk?" He said, "With all due respect, he's not on Devontae's level," is what Rodgers told the guy. Said Green Bay's offense struggled while adjusting to the loss of Adams. They finished 14th in points per game. It's the lowest since the 2019 season before Jordan Love was selected in the first round. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right, where do I start? Okay, I know where I'll start. And please, just know this is going to be a tirade. So I would like to be forgiven beforehand. I have seen this now from both sides. I've seen it as a Packers fan under Aaron Rodgers. I'm now seeing it as a Packers fan under Jordan Love. Major differences already between Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. A report came out that the Packers players say that Jordan Love is immensely more approachable than Aaron Rodgers ever was. He gets along with the staff. He talks with the coaches. He's at OTAs without being forced to be. Aaron Rodgers continually talked about how he wanted open communication and how he was always for upfront and how his FaceTime worked and all this stuff, only to turn around and say, "I don't talk to people I don't like." Which one is it? Do you want communication, or do you want to not talk to people because you don't like them? Because whether you were going to like that person or not, you still play for this team, or at least you did. And I think that the ultimate goal of every player, no matter how they feel about the management of the team, should be to win a Super Bowl. So why are you taking more money each year knowing that we have a superstar wide receiver who, by the way, needed to get paid more than what he was offered, but the Packers couldn't afford it because of your contract, and then blaming the Packers for not being able to pay him? It doesn't make sense to me. And now we have a young influx of talent, which is great. It might work out. It might not. I'll discuss more later this week on Packers Corner. However, you can't sit here and say, Brian, just be honest. You didn't like me. I don't think it's that he didn't like you. I think that it was he didn't like that you were trying to spin it in several different directions and portray him as something that he wasn't. Brian and Mark Murphy have to keep the Packers afloat, which means they have to think about the future, i.e. Jordan Love. They have to think about keeping players and, unfortunately, making cuts or trading players, i.e. Zadarius Smith, i.e. Devontae Adams, Micah Hyde, Casey Hayward, Jordy Nelson. And it blows my mind that you sit here and get $150 million for 3 years and then wonder why we can't get weapons.
The only pushback I have on that, though, is it did also come out that the Green Bay did offer the same as the Raiders.
And we did.
Or it also says, or more, in order to keep him in Green Bay.
And we did. But I think that's where Adams' bias towards Derek Carr and wanting to play with him came into play.
But was it biased, or was it biased, or was it the fact that, like he said, maybe it was he felt disrespected because they offered him less than Christian Kirk at first, and he was like, "I'm the best receiver in the league, man."
Yeah, well,
it's the same reason why you say, "How could Rodgers take $150 million for a 3-year contract and then complain because he ain't got no?" He in that $150 million contract, didn't he win back-to-back MVPs? I'd take $150 million too. I'm the best player on your team.
Yeah.
It's like, that's where it's like, I mean, I understand what you're saying 100%, and I don't disagree with you at all. But that's where, and I think that it's weird that they both sit around and say they like each other, they don't like each other, this and that, water under the bridge, whatever. But it's like, I think the issue was Rodgers not as approachable because Rodgers has an ego? Possibly. They all have egos. You're an NFL multi-million-dollar player. You're going to have an ego somewhat, some way. You shouldn't have one as much to where your teammate can't come up and go, "Hey, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to stop." Or, do this or do that. Like, I should be able to call my quarterback on the phone and have a discussion with you late at night about practice or whatever. But was it such an issue to where, I think it really rubbed Rodgers the wrong way when he didn't know y'all was drafting Jordan Love and then you traded up to draft him. I think it just made Rodgers feel like, first off, I feel like he felt like he was going to be rushed out of Green Bay.
Yeah.
And then I also feel like he thought, I wouldn't have as much as an issue with it if you guys were just like, "Hey, look, this is just we want you to put this guy under your wing and train him, so when you do plan on retiring a Packer, we know that we're going to be put in great hands, instead of, we're not going to tell this guy, we're going to come in and just draft our guy for the future." So it's like, it's kind of like with the Favre thing. I don't know if the Packers told Favre they were drafting Rodgers, but it's the same reason that Favre didn't like Rodgers. It's literally the exact same issues going on. So that's where it's...
My only pushback on that is I think that during that time, we look back on the 2019 season, it wasn't Rodgers' best season. He looked like he was declining, right? Like, let's just be honest. It looked like he was declining as a quarterback.
When?
2019.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And yeah. I think that at that point in time, I imagine that him and Brian probably were not talking on that type of terms. So my argument to this, and I'll get to what my point is, in a second. My argument to this is, I don't know if Aaron even bothered to ask. I don't know if he even bothered to call Matt LaFleur or Brian and be like, what are you guys planning on for the draft? Because a quarterback could know that. You know, he could be...
But is it Rodgers' job to initiate that conversation? I feel like as the front office, it should be you to go to the guy that's been leading your team for 10 plus years and go, this is what we're doing. Whether he asks or not, it should be, this is what's happening. You're the leader of this team. You're a multi-time MVP. You're a Super Bowl winning champ. I don't know if he won Super Bowl MVP that year, but if he did, he's a Super Bowl MVP. It's like, there is no, we wait for you to ask what's going on. It's always a, hey, this is what's happening. How do you feel about it? That's where, as a front office, definitely for a quarterback, as a quarterback, that is the most important person on your team. Definitely a franchise guy. And they need to do the same thing with Jordan Love. Jordan Love know everything.
They did.
They let Rodgers know that y'all were drafting Love?
No. This year at the draft, they told Jordan Love that they were drafting Sean Clifford in the 7th round.
That's different.
It's not a first round thing, but they still let Jordan Love. Jordan Love knew that we were drafting Lucas Van Ness.
Why didn't Rodgers know y'all were drafting Love though?
Because Rodgers and Gutekunst didn't talk. It's simple.
I mean, it's wrong on both of the sides are wrong. Both
sides are wrong.
Yeah, two wrongs don't make it right. So I don't like that, Brian didn't reach out as much to Rodgers, but I don't like that Rodgers, if Brian did reach out, didn't, well, my FaceTime works. Just grow up, be a man, and have a conversation with the guy that signed your checks. Okay?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So they're both wrong, but at the same time, I understand both sides, because it's like, well, I called him but he wouldn't answer. Well, I wouldn't answer him because I knew he didn't like me. That's y'all some 38, 39, 40-year-old grown men. Come on.
Yeah.
Y'all got to get over that. Put your egos aside. If you want to win Super Bowls, put your egos aside and do it. So, and of course, when he goes to New York, he's like, oh, it's been different these last couple of weeks. Of course they are. They are on their knees for you, brother. They traded the entire house to get you. Yeah. The least you have to do now is win another MVP. So it's like, I mean, or win the East. That's the least you have to do.
Yeah.
For this to somewhat be a positive trade for the Jets.
Yeah.
So, I got 2 discussion points right here. Here's one simple one. Build an offensive line for the next 5 years. You pick one person from each row. CK, I'll let you go first.
All right, so I'll start at the top. So for the next 5 years?
Yep, for the next 5 years.
Okay. I'm gonna go Andrew Thomas, Quentin Nelson, pure potential Tyler Linderbaum. I forgot there was an in there. I'm gonna go Chris Lindstrom, and then I'm gonna pick Tristan Wirfs.
Okay. Cody?
All right. I'll go top to bottom as well. I will go Laramie Tunsil. Then I will go my guy Elton Jenkins. I will go Jason Kelsey. I'll go Zach Martin, and then I'll go Lane Johnson.
Okay.
Fair.
So for the next 5 years, I'm actually gonna take Slater.
Okay.
We'll take Slater. I'm gonna take Joe Thuney. I'm going to take Tyler or Frank would be good, but I'm gonna take Frank just because you took Tyler. Right guard, I'll actually take Alex Capel. I think Alex Capel's pretty good. And then right tackle, I'm probably taking Tristan Wirfs.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's nothing, crazy here to talk about, but I just wanted to see what.
No disrespect to anybody on the left tackle, but I do wonder why they don't put David Bakhtiari at left tackle up there.
I mean, I guess maybe because of injuries, but at the same time, it's like if you're doing injuries, you also got to do age.
Yeah.
It's
But I'm also saying, like,
what's his name? Where's he at? If you do injuries, Quentin Nelson was injured last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, but
And
that's
Jason
what I'm saying.
Kelsey,
Like,
age-wise, Jason Kelsey's going to play one more season before he retires. So it's like,
yeah, but I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you,
I'd have took out. Who would you take out for Bakhtiari and replace him?
honestly, probably Andrew Thomas. David Bakhtiari is a top 3 left tackle in the league when he's healthy. I think he came back in last year from injury and didn't allow a single sack. Like, you're not getting past David Bakhtiari. I would say it's probably Trent Williams, Laramie Tunsil, and then Bakhtiari.
Yeah.
Fair. Next, here is PFF's top 10 corners going into the NFL season. We'll start at 10 and work our way up to 1. Number 10, Jamel Dean. Number 9, J.C. Horn. Number 8, Trayvon Diggs. Number 7, Marshawn Lattimore. Number 6, Stephon Gilmore. Number 5, Jair Alexander. Number 4, Patrick Surtain. Number 3, Darius Slay. 2, Jalen Ramsey. And 1, Sauce Gardner. What do you not like about this list?
It's not that I don't like it, but I do know for a fact Jair would have been higher if he was not injured half of last season.
I would also agree about J.C. Horn. But I am happy that JC's actually on this list for once, because this man has been completely disrespected.
Other than that, honestly, when I think of the top 10 corners in the league, this is it.
Yeah, I would argue that I could maybe put Pat Surtain above Slay. I think Pat Surtain is a top 3 corner.
I don't think Jalen Ramsey's number 2.
Not last season.
Not last season, so yeah.
Jalen
if
Ramsey
anything,
had horrible last season.
I would maybe put Sauce 1, Pat Surtain 2 then.
Yeah, so
Maybe
I think
Darius 3.
I think if I could make any adjustments, it would be Sauce 1, Pat Surtain 2, Darius 3. I think Jair goes to 4 when healthy, and I think JC's 5 with Marshawn Lattimore being 6.
Speaking of Sauce Gardner, this actually just popped in my mind. Are you able to take days off of work? Like, you ever request days off?
I have a lot of leave coming up, so yeah.
Okay, but I mean, like, can you just take a day off when you need to if you put it in advance?
No.
Freak.
Why?
Because the Jets are coming to Spartanburg, South Carolina to practice the Panthers at training camp, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go with me.
What day?
It'll be sometime in late July, early August.
Will it be on a Saturday?
I don't know. Whenever I find out, though, I'm probably taking a day or 2 off because I'm going up there. Because I'm going to try to watch, but I'm also trying to get Sauce and Aaron Rodgers autograph.
Well, if it's during a Saturday, I will go with you, and I will.
I mean, whether you like Aaron Rodgers or not at the moment, you should still take your Aaron Rodgers painting and get it signed because it's a 1-of-1. You painted it.
Oh, I should.
See what I'm saying? So there's nothing cooler than having something that you made, or even just a 1-of-1 item signed, and that's the only thing that you've ever created of Aaron Rodgers. So it's like that'd be your 1-of-1. That'd be a great piece of memorabilia.
Yeah.
So, and meeting Aaron Rodgers would just be cool anyway. So.
Yeah, I'm actually literally looking at my painting right now.
So I mean, yeah, I'll find out when I find the date site. I'll text you and let you know about it. But you know. I know
please do.
CK's definitely going to take a day with me and go. I think we're going to try to go on my birthday this year.
We'll,
Friday.
We'll make a vlog out of it. Pack the Bank vlog.
There you go.
Pack the Bank vlog. That's good. Poggers.
So, alright. So that was that for discussions. That's really all I had. So last we will end. CK, go ahead and give them the rules for the defense draft.
All right. So last week we did an offensive draft. We picked a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, a tight end, and an offensive line group. This week we will be drafting defensive players, and basically how it's going to work: there are 2. You are going to draft 2 safeties, 2 corners, and then you have your choice of picking 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, or 4 linebackers, and 3 defensive linemen. If a player is an outside linebacker / edge rusher in a 3-4 defense, they can be picked as either a linebacker or as a defensive lineman. But when the pick is announced, like that player, you must say what their position is at that moment, and you cannot change it. The only other rule
And it can be
is
vetoed.
It can be vetoed if the other 2 people say that's not it, or that player cannot play that position.
I
it can be
cannot
vetoed.
take. I can. So, i.e., I cannot take Myles Garrett and say linebacker
No,
because he's not a linebacker.
not a
He's
linebacker.
strictly a defensive edge.
Yes.
So,
And then the only other rule is at least one of your linebackers has to be considered like a real inside linebacker. You kind of get the point. You could technically pick 4 defensive linemen with 2 edges and then have 1 middle linebacker. You can do that. It all just depends on how you see your dream defense.
Yep.
It's only
Fair
current players, and they are all considered healthy.
100% healthy. Nobody gets injured.
Yep.
So, same rules apply with the wheel. First pick goes to whoever it lands on. Second pick goes to second. Third goes to third. And we're gonna go
Snake draft.
1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Number 1 pick. God Almighty, dude. Thank God, it's not me.
Cody with the first overall.
All right, so
pick.
Cody, you have the number 1 pick.
Oh man.
The pressure.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I got the second pick. Pog.
I think we literally went in like opposite order of what we were last.
Yeah, we all
time.
just moved up 1.
Yeah, everybody
you
just
fell back.
Yeah, I just fell back. Okay, cool. So, all right. Well, Cody, you have the number 1 pick. The floor is yours.
God, I have so many people I want. Oh no. All right. I get 2 corners, right? Okay.
You will. Yes, you do get 2 corners.
Okay. So, all right. Go ahead and give me the obvious.
So here it is: 3 defensive line, 3 or 4 defensive line, or 3
4
linebackers.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 3 defensive linemen, 4 linebackers.
You can either run a 4-3 or a 3-4.
Yeah.
2 corners,
Yeah.
2 safeties.
And then your linebackers can. Yeah.
Yep.
We already had that discussion.
So you
All right.
take
Well
one
then.
player here, and then we'll go on.
I'm gonna go ahead and go with the obvious. Give me Sauce Gardner.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good right. Yeah, I said make sure you write down who you got because we'll forget it halfway through.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, so I guess it's my pick. I'm gonna go. This is tough because I thought you were gonna pick somebody else.
I if it's Aaron Donald, I wanted to pick Aaron Donald, but I was like, no.
See, like I'm thinking that, but it's just like, oh crap. I'm going. You know what? I'm gonna go outside the box here. Oh, dude, I'm going Micah Parsons.
Ah, I knew it. I knew it. That's a solid pick.
Have to. I had to do
That's a solid pick, dude.
It's a good pick. I like that pick. My back-to-back's pretty easy. I'm taking 2 defensive edges. I'm running a 4-3. Give me T.J. Watt and Nick Bosa.
Yep.
Good luck. I hope you guys have good left and right tackles, because somebody's eating that game, big dog. If not both of them.
All right. So my next pick, I'm going Fred Warner.
Good pick.
Very nice.
I
Very
like
nice.
that pick.
My next pick, homegrown man. Give me Rashawn Gary.
Okay,
That is
that's fair.
a wild pick for who all is on the board. But you have another pick, so that's okay.
I do. With my next pick, actually, I am gonna go ahead and pick up Mr. Aaron Donald.
Alrighty. I am going to pick Myles Garrett as a defensive lineman because he has to be. But you get the point.
Yeah, obviously,
Yeah, it has to be. a defensive
Rashawn.
lineman.
Obviously,
Thank
Rashawn Gary's a linebacker, and Aaron Donald is a defensive edge.
Okay. All right. Okay. Had to make sure.
I'm gonna shore up my passing defense. I'm gonna take Surtain, and then I'm gonna round back and take Horn.
Okay.
The two young defensive guys who, I mean, when healthy, they're both pretty freaking dominant. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Cody's probably gonna hate me, but I'm taking Yair Alexander.
I knew you were taking Jair. I knew it. All right. Next up for me, let's see here. Who do I want? Who do I want? Who do I want? Who do I want?
And just so everybody knows, I did pick Micah Parsons as a linebacker, just in case I didn't say it, but I did pick him as a linebacker.
What's his name? He played for the Panthers, then went to the Eagles.
James Bradbury?
Not that one.
Reddick?
Yeah, Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick, that's a good pickup.
Yeah, give me
It's an
Hassan
underrated
Reddick.
pickup, actually.
All right.
That's what, 3 defensive linemen for me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
No, because I've got Gary as
Yeah.
a linebacker.
Yeah, I
so
think you have 2.
Okay. Oh man, I get another pick, don't I?
Yes.
All right, so my second corner, you took Jair. But that is okay because I am actually going to go ahead and take Jalen Ramsey.
Alrighty. All right. So I'm going to pick. I'm gonna take Minka Fitzpatrick.
Ooh, first
Damn
safety
it.
off the board. Very nice.
That was gonna be my pick.
Oh, I
okay.
know who I'm picking next.
Well then,
next.
let me go back here. Then I guess I'll shore up my safeties. Give me Derwin James. And give me Justin Simmons.
All right. Okay.
Very nice.
All right. So I am now going to go Chris Jones, defensive line.
Very nice. All right. So I am actually going to go ahead and shore up my safety room as well. Go ahead and give me Micah Hyde. And give me... Oh, you already got Justin Simmons, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
No, you know what? Give me Harrison Smith.
All right.
Micah Hyde and Harrison Smith.
All right. Okay. Let's see. I am gonna go. I believe his name is Quinnen Williams, the defensive lineman for the Jets.
The Jets?
Yep.
That's number 5. Yeah.
Okay.
I messed up his name.
So I've got 2 defensive edges, 2 corners, 2 safeties. I'm gonna finish off my 2 defensive line here as my 2 run stuffers. Give me Darion Payne from Washington and give me Derek Brown.
All right.
Nice.
Oh yeah, so now it's my pick. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna pick my 4th defensive lineman, which is the last defensive lineman. I am picking Dexter Lawrence.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
I'm actually gonna round out my my linebackers. Other than Rashawn Gary, give me in the middle Patrick Queen, and then on the right outside, give me Zadarius Smith.
Alrighty. As the Panthers have moved to a 3-4, I would be picking Brian Burns as a linebacker. I don't
Nice
believe
pick,
anybody's
nice
picked it.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay. I need 3 linebackers. Okay, give me Devin White. And give me Roquan Smith.
Nice.
Very nice.
I just need one more linebacker.
All right. So my next safety is going to be. Let's see. I'm gonna go Jesse Bates.
Very nice. All right. So I need 3 more defensive linemen. I'll take 2 here, and then I'll make it my last pick, I think, is what it'll be. But for my 2 defensive linemen, give me Vita Vea and give me Kenny Clark.
Alrighty. And with my final pick, I will be picking a corner, and it'll be Trayvon Diggs.
Very nice. It's good value.
Okay, my the middle linebacker. I'm trying to find out who is considered a middle linebacker.
Well, didn't you pick Devin White?
Is he not an off-ball linebacker?
I think. Well, you can count him as a middle linebacker. It doesn't really matter.
I
Oh, you feel like Roquan Smith.
I put White and Smith as your off-ball.
All right. Okay. That's fine.
Middle. I'm gonna take. He's old. I don't know how old this guy is. Okay, actually, you know what? Let me put. Since Smith is older, let me put Smith as my middle, and have my outside linebacker open. I'll take the Devondre Campbell.
All right.
Let's go.
For outside.
Alrighty. So that
Should also taking Quay Walker.
should conclude the draft. You were the last pick. Alrighty. So I guess we'll just do an order of who picked first, and then you list out your team, and then we'll go through it.
Well, I had one more defensive lineman to pick.
You shouldn't have. I don't know about that one.
I only got Clark, Vea, and Aaron Donald. Oh, I had Hassan Reddick too. Never mind.
Okay, so who's your team? All right, real quick.
So at defensive line, like I just said, I've got Aaron Donald, Hassan Reddick, Kenny Clark, and Vita Vea. For my 3 linebackers, I've got Zadarius Smith, Patrick Queen, and Rashawn Gary. Then for my 2 corners, I've got Sauce Gardner and Jalen Ramsey. And then my 2 safeties, I have Harrison Smith and Micah Hyde.
All right, and for my defensive linemen are Myles Garrett, Chris Jones, Quinnen Williams, and Dexter Lawrence. My outside linebacker is Micah Parsons, middle linebacker Fred Warner, other outside linebacker Brian Burns, and then my 2 corners are Yair Alexander, Trayvon Diggs, and my safeties are Minkah Fitzpatrick and Jesse Bates.
All right, I'm running a 4-3 defense. So my starting at defensive edge, left to right, T.J. Watt, Darion Payne, Derek Brown, Nick Bosa. Outside linebacker is Devin White. Middle is Roquan Smith. Outside is Devondre Campbell. My starting corners are J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain. And my starting safeties are Derwin James and Justin Simmons. So comment below whose defense you think would be the #1 defense in the NFL. And do that for last week's video also. Tell us who you think the #1 offense in the league would be. And then come back and tell us what offense and defense would make the perfect combination to go 17-0. Or I guess now 18-0 and win the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
But that's it, man. That's all we got tonight. Cody's going to do a Packers Corner this week. He'll drop the episode. Me and CK's going to hop on a little bit later and do a Panthers Corner episode. And, we hope to see y'all there, man.
Yep. Like Aaron said, we hope to see you guys over on both our Instagram page and for you guys to be viewing other videos here on Pack the Bank. Join us for all of our other videos that we'll be posting throughout the week. And yeah, as always, if you'd like to follow us, you can follow us right here on Instagram and wherever you can find us. Listen to us on Apple and Spotify. I've been slacking on that a little bit, but I am starting to upload other podcasts. So if you want to catch up on older podcasts, they should be uploaded pretty soon. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, please like and hit the subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one. Peace!